Hi guys, it's Chantel. Welcome here. Today I have another book haul. I have bought a lot of books in the last few months, many of which I've gotten like really cheap or free. And yeah, I bought a few more. Now, I don't know how often to do book hauls. I know some people do not monthly, well yeah, some people do monthly, and some people do seasonal book hauls on their channel. But once I get books home, I either want to put them on my shelves or put them on my TBR cart. Like, I don't want them to be sitting around just like waiting for me to talk about them. So yeah, I bought a couple books yesterday and I just want to share them. Most of these I got thrifting. There are two that I paid full price for. Now with thrifting, I normally, like, not only do I thrift for books, which makes them cheaper, but I have like a few tricks that I do, which I want to do a video about soon. But I didn't even do my own tricks, and I was kind of kicking myself afterwards. Like, yeah, I got a good deal on these books, but I wish I would have done my tricks to get them even cheaper. That being said, I got some books that I'm really excited about, so let's just talk about them. The first one I got is The Land of Stories. This is book 1. I am supposed to be reading book 2 this month, which was pulled on my TBR cart. My daughter picked that out as the kid pick, but I'm starting with book 1 instead of book 2 because that makes more sense. And I started it on audio and then just so happened to find like this perfect condition from the thrift store. So book 1. And this one, I guess, is about a boy and girl who fall into fairy tales. And yeah, I don't really know a whole lot more about it so far. Then the next one is one that I already have a copy of, and it is Pippi Longstocking. Now, I kind of also want to do a video on books that I own multiple copies of, because I have a few books like that, and there's reasons and different reasons for why I have multiple copies of some books. This one is my son's favorite book. He listens to the audiobook probably like once a week. I don't know if he loves it so much because, well, partly he loves it so much because Pippi Longstocking's father has the same name as him, and also partly because it's just completely silly. And I have been wanting these chalk edition covers for a while. I would like to find like Peter Pan. I don't know if they have other ones, but I saw this one and I just knew I had to buy it. And this one I'm going to, like, when he moves out of the house years from now, I'm going to send this with him. This will be like his copy. Oh, and the next one, I had just talked about this in a reading vlog about how I wanted to buy this as a my own copy because I have it from the library right now. And I said I see it all the time in thrift stores, and sure enough, the first thrift store I went into after saying that, I found it, and it is Heartbeat by Sharon Creech. Now, I think I just like want to own all of Sharon Creech's books because she has such a beautiful way of writing. This book is a free verse novel about a girl that likes to run, and her grandpa has like dementia and her mom is pregnant, and she can just take these topics and make you feel so many feelings, and I love that. And this book is such a fast read but very impactful. I also found Footsteps in the Snow. This is a Dear Canada series book. We own a few of these, and every time I see them in a thrift store, I just have to snag either like the Dear Canada or Royal Diaries, and I think there's like Dear America, but we don't have those in Canada, or I've never seen them. So yeah, eventually I kind of want to assign a book like a month or every few months for my daughter for homeschooling, because it's such a fun way to learn history. And this one, it is about Red River. It's a Red River diary in Rupert's Land. So I think that is possibly currently what is Manitoba. I'm terrible at Canadian geography and history, so really I should read these books as well. Okay, and then the last part, or the last middle grade one that I got is Trixie Belden. Now, I'm collecting the Trixie Belden books. I've got a few here and one on my TBR cart. My daughter really likes these. They're like a mystery. I don't know how old Trixie is supposed to be, but they're mystery books, and she says they are better than Nancy Drew. I think just because like she's younger, she's not quite ready for Nancy Drew yet, but when she is, I've got her covered. And yeah, so every time I find a Trixie Belden book, I try to grab that. Now, the other 1, 2, 3, 4, the next 4 books are all part of a series that I love so much, and it is the number one ladies detective agency series. Now, I have book 1 that I got from a library sale a while ago, and I've read Tears of the Giraffe and 1 or 2 other ones. I don't know if I read any of these, but they are a mystery series set in Africa. I think in which country? I thought it was like Zimbabwe, possibly. It doesn't say right here. And I love that this middle-aged British man can write a main character that is a, African woman, and he writes her so well. These books feel like stepping back into Africa. I've been to Uganda and South Africa, both for a few weeks, and this just felt like going to Africa. And I love the continent of Africa, and so every time I kind of have a longing for the place, then I want to pick these up. And then the last of my thrift store finds was The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. Now, I've heard a lot about this one. This is a family that lives in Alaska, and I don't really know a whole lot more. I don't really want to know a whole lot more. It has been very hyped over the last number of years since it came out. And normally I like to wait until, okay, this is 2018. Normally I like to wait until hyped books have like kind of died out before picking it up myself, partly because I want to see, like, does it stand the test of time? Like, are people still raving about it, or was it just because some people started and other people did? And this one seems to be one that people continue to rave about, and so yeah, I'm interested in finally giving this one a try. And then my last 2 I bought from Amazon, and I paid full price for. They were pre-order. They are republished books because they have new covers. Now, this is probably my favorite middle grade series ever, and it is the Wing Feather Saga. Now, book 1 and book 2 have been republished with these new covers, and then book 3 and book 4 are going to be released in the fall, and I am also going to pay full price for those because they are so worth it. My family has been listening to the series at supper time for the last like 6-8 months, something like that. We're finally on the last book, and they're funny. They are like hard-hitting. It's a fantasy world. Oh man, there's like so much I cannot say. Let's just say it's a fantasy world, and everything just hinges on continuing to have hope. And because my family is reading or listening to the audiobook, we're not getting the complete experience. I really wanted these hard copies because my daughter wants to read it. And this book, also it has illustrations. How's that for a side note? This book has footnotes, like lots of them. Just random little footnotes. Like this one here says, oh man, okay, this one's really long. Usually they're funny. See if I can find one it's another really long one that takes up 2 pages. So it's like here the footnote was about a song, and it says, according to this guy's comprehensive history of sad, sad songs, and then it like has the publisher's information. Lanric and Rube grew up closer than brothers, but both fell in love with the same girl, a maiden named Ilia. And then it just keeps going, like it's all this back history that doesn't matter, doesn't pertain to the book at all, but like the author has put a lot of thought into his worlds. See if I can find, like this one has multiple footnotes that take up almost half the page. Let's see here. Okay, so here's one. It talked about the Fangs had every weapon in the land, every sword and shield, every bow and arrow, every dagger and spear, every farm tool that could be used as a weapon was locked away and guarded. That's like in the text. Then there's a footnote. In order for Poto to hoe the garden, he had to fill out the permission to hoe garden form, and then the permission to use hoe form to borrow the hoe. If the tool wasn't returned by sundown, the penalty was much too severe to be mentioned in this happy part of the story. And then, in the back, there's appendices. There's the permission to hoe a garden form. So it says, I request permission to hoe a garden. By signing this form, I acknowledge the superiority of the fangs of Dang. So he has to fill out this whole form. And then he also has to fill out permission to use the hoe. Please check all that apply. I would like to use a hoe. And then you have to initial it. So yeah, like these books are so good, and there's so much more here than most middle grade books, even most adult books. Like, authors don't usually put so much thought into it. I want to show one more thing here. There are these evil creatures in the book called toothy cows, and the author actually, this is his illustration of a toothy cow and the various, I guess, the parts that you don't want to meet, the scary parts. Yeah, so if you have not read the series, I highly recommend it. These covers are gorgeous. I also love that they're hardcover and there's no dust jackets. Like, the illustration is actually on the book itself. So that is the last of my book haul for March, beginning of March. Yeah, we'll see if I do another one. If you enjoy watching book hauls, I would like to know how you enjoy them. I've thought about like just including them in my weekly vlogs, doing them just like whenever I have a stack. Should I do monthly? Should I do seasonally? I really don't want to do seasonally, but I mean, I guess if everyone said yes, do it seasonally, then maybe I would. Or maybe I wouldn't anyway. Yeah, but let me know. And if you have any like suggestions on books I should keep an eye out for at the thrift store, let me know as well, because I go kind of frequently. Thanks for watching.